Happy everybody's here. This is probably going to be a shorter show tonight. We're probably only going to do an hour if my internet holds up. We are having really bad rainstorms here in New Jersey with ridiculously high winds. It's actually wind advisories in the area. So my internet has been going in and out all night. So hopefully you guys can all hear me. Let me know. Make sure I'm still live because I just blanked out on me there for a second. But okay, thanks, Brown Sugar. Hey, Brown Sugar, are you safe from the flooding? I know below us in, more towards central Jersey and southern Jersey, they've got a ton of flooding. Are you safe in your area? All right, excellent, Robin. All right. So I need to do a couple of things. Let me adjust this so I see all comments. I want all messages so I don't miss anything like last week. Okay. Okay, you're good. That's what I wanted to hear. All right, let me just do this as well. All right, we've got 17 people in here. Let me just see who's here. Make sure I say hello to everybody. We've got Marco, channel member, Groundfog, Angelo, channel member, Geek Machinist, channel member, Ron Crow, channel member, Robin Dallum, channel member. Let's see, Robert Jones, channel member. Let's see, Bobtism, channel member. Let's see who else. James McCann, welcome in, buddy. Blaze Burger, channel member. Let's see. Robin Ellis, welcome in. Brown Sugar channel member. Let's see. Salvo Zen channel member. All right. Paul Mills channel member. Welcome in, everybody. Matt Maurer, welcome in. Cliff Brott channel member. Welcome in. Cicero channel member. Alex Kerber channel member. Welcome in, everybody. Nice. I don't think I missed anybody. If I did, I apologize, and hopefully we'll get you. So, this has been an interesting week. Didn't get a lot of knives in, but I got some. Hopefully everybody's doing well out there. So I was looking at the calendar and not the calendar. Yeah, I was looking at the calendar, but I was looking back at my videos from when I started doing EDC content. And the first video, which was not really, it was just a slideshow. So I don't really consider it a video, but it was just a photo slideshow, was done on September 25th. But the actual first knife video I did was October 17th. So that's coming up. That's coming up the Friday. So we'll have been doing EDC videos basically full time for, not that I'm working full time. I work regular job, but I meaning for a year doing regular EDC videos. So it's been 1 year, and that's flown by. And this community kind of took me in and adopted me, and I love you all for it. So it's going to be great. We're going to have a good time on next week's, because next week we'll actually celebrate 1 year. Anyone, I could have done it today technically, but I figured wait till next Sunday because that'll actually be past the full 1 year point, and we'll come up with something special for that. Rams is silent, channel member. Welcome in, welcome in. So I was hanging around and I wasn't in a lot of the lives this week, spending some time working on some other stuff. But I was in enough of them and saw everybody, and good to see everybody. You know, you guys were all just watching Aries EDC's live, and I just won on the numbers game. And that's a number I use a lot. So so that was pretty cool. I hit it right on the nose. It's the second Aries giveaway that I've won now. And what's really funny about that is the knife he just built for me as part of when he opened the books, that's arriving either. So I have another care package coming. Can't wait to see that one in person. That's the one with the purple haze handles. I am so looking forward to that one. It's a little bigger than the Bloom harpoon that he made for me. So really, really looking forward to that. So did anybody else or not go to Blade? I'm sure I don't think anybody on this who's here tonight went to Blade Show West, right? I'm totally not sure. But just curious if anybody went to Blade Show West. You know what I have to do? I have to get a stand so that way I can raise my other um my tablet up higher. So that way I could see it. Hmm. How can I do that? Well, temporarily I can use a box, right? Box will work. Do I really feel like going through the effort of Yes, I do. Hold on, folks. We're gonna stick an Amazon box under there for now. Do 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 do. All right, let's move that there for a second. We'll get that out of the way. Let's get this box under here. Impromptu stand. And hopefully this doesn't fall forward with the weight. No, we're good. All right. All right, folks. Sorry about that. I know it was a little unprofessional, but I needed to boost that up so I could see it better. And that way I'm not constantly looking down. I can just kind of glance down. So I'm not looking away from the camera. But so if you folks can, we've got 28 people in here now. If you could smash that like button, that would be greatly appreciated. It actually does help. Um, so I have usually I have two overhead lights going. Right now I only have one because I have some new lighting behind and I want to see how it would look and a little bit darker, but still with light. Does it look all right? Everything look okay, or should I turn the other light back on? Yeah, I mean, they're Alex. Blade Going to Blade Show is expensive. I don't mean buying knives. I mean just going to Blade Show. You know, so I like going to some of the local shows. I would like to get to Blade Show Atlanta next year. I don't know if that's going to happen. Thank you, Brown Sugar. I appreciate that. I I think I want to go to Blade Show Atlanta. You know, but it's pricey. You know, you got transportation down there, hotel to stay in, not besides the price of the tickets. And then you know you're going to spend money, so you got to go prepared with a lot of cash. You know, and I just don't know if it's in the cards. I'd like it to be, and I almost got to work one of the it's a long, you know, I told you guys the story. Kind of fell through at was coming together last minute, but then fell through because I couldn't afford to actually go down there. I was going to help one of the vendors at their table, but you know, Jesse, welcome in, welcome in. Good to have you here. Have you here? So, but yeah, I want to go. I want to go to Atlanta because it's the big country. I do want to go to the New York Custom Knife Show this year again. Or I was supposed to go this year, but I got sick and I wasn't able to go. Brown Sugar went, and unfortunately, I couldn't meet up with her because I got sick the weekend that happened, and it was just a long story. But I want to go to that one because that's a pretty big size show too, believe it or not. Um, you know, so I'm looking forward to that. And that one's coming up quickly because they moved it up this year. It's in February. So definitely want to go to that. I think Geek Machinist, you said you want to go to that one, right? Roger Baker, hello there. I missed you. Glad you're here. Glad you're here, buddy. The blue light's glare. All right, let me move that blue light. I know. Is that this one? Let me. Is that better? When it hits blue. Okay, I know what I got to do here. I know what I got to do here. Let's move this back to there. Let's move that down here. That speaker will move there. How's that? That's better, I think. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely. That's good. Right. Very cool. Yeah. Good call. Good call. But so it was really funny because on um Aries on his live stream talking music, and I was like, that's what we do here basically every Sunday night, you know, but we do it on a pretty regular basis. So I guess it was kind of new to him, but it was kind of cool because I'm starting to realize Scott Aries, he has a lot of similar musical tastes that I do. So that was really kind of cool. Fred, did I see? Wait. Fred the Lug, welcome in, buddy. Glad you're here. Glad you are here. So, MadYocco, what's up, my friend? Always right by my side, Yako. Always there. Remember, folks, get your hanks from MadYocco. There's a link to his online store in the description for this video, along with a discount code. So, support someone in the community who we know. MadYocco. He does a good job with these. I love his hanks. So there. Ramses Silence gifting a membership. And who got that? Carlos Los. I don't know who that is, but he must be one of the subscribers. All right. So I'm going to try something different here because I was realizing that you guys can't necessarily hear this very loud. So I'm going to hold it to the microphone. And then we've got a 3-phaser salute. But very cool. Very cool. And yes, channel memberships are open for those of you who aren't members, but mostly everybody in here is a member right now. But yeah, channel memberships are open. We don't have a membership goal today. We're just going to run this one off the cuff. If people want to join, that's cool. Whatever you guys want to do to help the channel, greatly appreciated. So let's talk about what came in this week. Oh, no problem, Yako. I do it because I love your hanks, and you're a friend. So that's what's really important. But let's show you what kind of came in this week. This has been a weird week. All right. Before I said I wasn't in a lot of the lives, I was and I wasn't. I wasn't in the lives on YouTube. Where I've spent a lot of time is on Whatnot, in the lives there. And I picked up some cool stuff that will be here later this week. But last week I picked up this little guy on Whatnot. And this is the Kershaw Chive. Got this for $4. If you look on Amazon right now, these are selling for like 60, which I don't understand because it's such a tiny little knife. Now, the knife's in really good shape, but there's a problem. And now I know why I got it for $4. The spring assist is broke. I opened it up, the spring is broken. So what happens is when you go to flick it out, oh, let me unlock it. When you go to flick it out, it just doesn't want to flick. Like, that's all it'll do. And it's such a small knife. Now, it will flick out with the thumb stud. But the flipper, because there's no spring assist right now, it won't flick out. But yeah, it is. It's exactly what it is. 1931 Leatherworks, welcome in. It is exactly this website. They have T service, but if you scroll down further, there is there's a MadYocco, there's a scallion that's exactly, and the leak. Continuing the onion names, but of course it's a Ken Onion design, which makes sense. But if you go to Kershaw's website, you can scroll down under where it says warranty. I know. I'm having internet problems, Ramses. That's why we're probably only going to do an hour today. We got huge wind and rainstorms here at the moment, and my internet's been going in and out. So I apologize if we get a lag. There's really not a lot I can do, but we'll do the best we can. If it goes out, I appreciate everybody being here. But we're going to try and keep it. Going as best we can. So, like I said, so if you go to Kershaw's website, you go to the warranty section and you scroll down, and there's an order form for parts. They're really cool about it. They have a whole thing in it. They saying we know parts break over time. You can all you have to do is go in and put your model number of the knife, and you can request a part for free. So that's what I did. I went in and requested a new spring. They shipped it out. It should be here early this week, free of charge. I'm not even the original owner. They didn't ask for a receipt, anything like that. They just needed me to put my model number in and put the request. Neil McKenzie, hello there. Welcome in. Welcome in. Somebody, KR Knife Review, welcome in. Channel member. But so that's kind of cool. So now it was $4 and then shipping was $4.95. So $9.95 altogether. Okay. $4 and then like I said, $4.95. So basically, let's call it $9.95, $10. $10 for this. Kershaw is sending out the spring. I'm going to clean this up thoroughly because it's new. I mean, it looks pretty new, but it's a little dirty because it was used, but nothing too bad. Just a cool little, you know, fifth pocket knife. And it's like I said, it's a classic. It's a Ken Onion. So that was the first thing that came in this week. 47 people here. Excellent. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you being here. NFK20, welcome in. Welcome in. Well, hopefully, NFK20, hopefully I'll keep you awake. At least we'll try. So the second knife that came in this week is this guy. This is an attractive looking knife with the G10 and red handles. It's a flipper. Sounds great on deployment. This is a knife by a company I'd never heard of, but 701 Gear, 701 or 704 Gear, he had talked about this as being one of the best inexpensive new knives out there. He had it as one of his featured knives. These were coming in at $14.99. It's a company called CCF Really a long-winded kind of name. It's a liner lock. Steel is 14C28. It's a decent sized knife. And it's built pretty well. You can one hand operate it. Sounds great on deployment and just feels really good. There's no hot spots. Now, the clip is not necessarily deep carry. And it's not reversible. And they did inset the clip, but then they used dome screws on there. The only thing I don't like about this knife, it's sharp. I've cut with it. It's sharp. There's no jimping, none whatsoever. I wish there were jimping right there. So I'm really seriously thinking about getting a jimping file and doing my own jimping on it. What's the worst that can happen? These are priced at $14.99. But I mean, they look good. And they also come with a red handle with yellow liners, with the yellow inserts, which looked really good too. So, but not bad. Not bad. I mean, we're getting to the point where we've got Walmart selling knives in 14C28N for $20. We've got these companies, these Chinese companies selling, 14C28 at, 14.99. Is it me, or does it seem like no, it's not a lefty, it's a righty. It's a righty knife. It might be, it's a righty, but really feels good, like I said. But I'm starting to think that maybe we're getting to the point where 1428N is becoming the new D2, where it's going to be on all the budgets, you know? Yeah, exactly, Yako. I mean, you know, definitely want to do that. Then I picked up a knife this week I got on clearance at Tractor Supply. And it's not anything fancy, but it's a knife that I had before that I gave away. And I've always kind of liked it. And that is this guy here, the SOG. This is the, whoops, let me, oh, why is that? What's going on here? Oh, there we go. Hold on. Why is that doing that? I was having no problems flipping this all week. Oh, there it goes. Okay. That was just user error. So this is the SOG Adventurer LB. Now, mind you, this is a 5 CR steel, but this is a knife that has, it's a lockback. Feels great though. I had one of these. I used to keep it in a fishing tackle box, you know, because you have the FRN handles here and solid lockup, you know, but yeah, I mean, this was on clearance, like I said, at Tractor Supply, and I got it for $10. It was like 9.99. Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. Yeah, Alex, because I actually have that reverse and I printed that, the subscribe sign that's up there. Actually, let me lift that a bit. That subscribe sign that's there was actually printed backwards so that way people could see it. And you know what? I got to move that up. No, everybody can see it. So, because I knew we're doing it here. Wyvern Kodiak, welcome in, welcome in. So again, I was like, I wanted one of these again, and it was only $10. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna grab it. You know, there we go. First time was user error, but just a good knockaround knife. And I'm gonna throw this into my tackle box, probably to replace the one I had in there. What had happened is I went fishing with a friend of mine a few years back, and um, he didn't have a knife, so I gave him the one I gave him one of these because I had plenty of knives, and I was like, okay. So it's like I just wanted it back again. Now the next knife we got in is by a slip joint by a company called Old Ram, and these were 9.99 on Amazon. Looks really cool. Fit and finish on this, pretty good. Pretty good, I have to tell you. The pins are flush. Now that's a resin handle. What I believe it is there's a wood veneer covered by resin. That's how they got that look underneath. It gives it a nice 3D kind of texture, which looks really cool. And we'll open her up. This is a Old Ram is the company, and these are, like I said, dirt cheap on Amazon. Now, here's you've got your cut point blade and you've got your spay blade right there. Here's the thing though, there's no half stop, which is why they're so cheap. And it's actually a what's the steel on this? Steel. It's a 440 440B steel. So it is a stainless steel. Obviously not a great steel, but that's not bad because a lot of these lesser priced slip joints aren't even a 440, you know. Most of the time they don't even tell you what they are. So not bad. Nice size too. Feels good. Like I said, fit and finish is surprisingly good for a $10 knife. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Bob. There's surgical stainless they on a lot of them. Now the next one I got was also a knife, a slip joint, and this is from Elk Ridge. And this one's pretty cool because this has a true bone handle. Check that out. You've got the deer engraved into that. Looks kind of cool. Fit and finish on this, not the best. And what I mean by that is the pins are okay. The pins are set fine. But if you look, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but if you look here, there's some gapping right up here between the scales. But overall, still not bad, you know. But this is a knife that comes in, it's on sale right now, and these are $8.99. Elk Ridge. I happen to have a bunch of Elk Ridge knives. Another decent sized one. And Elk Ridge is by a company called Master Cutlery, and Master Cutlery is based here in New Jersey. They're out of Secaucus. So, and it's the same thing. You've got your clip point blade and your spay blade. And this one is actually, what's the steel on this? Yeah, this is one of the ones that just says stainless. Doesn't give you the stainless steel type, but not bad. Not bad for, but yeah, these were coming in on sale at $8.99. Again, no half stop. So you will have to be careful when closing it. Although it does sound good on deployment. The walk and talk's pretty good, you know, but it's not a half stop. Oh, we talking about the new HCR releases from Spyderco? Yeah, I was wondering about that myself. Why aren't they moving certain companies? Let's talk about this now because you guys just brought up something that's kind of annoying to me. Certain companies like Kershaw, the lower end Spydercos, CRKT, they've got some great designs, but then they basically shit the bed when it comes to the steel they're using. You know, um, like I love my Spyderco, Tenacious, but it's an HCR. Why? At this point, you can move up to a 14C28N and still, and still keep it at the same price. You know, um, I don't get it. What kills like a great knife that Kershaw has is the misdirect. The design of that knife, it looks good, it operates really well, but it's a 5 CR. Why? And it's like $25. Where Jesus, this thing was $14 and it's 14.8, 1428, 14C28N blade steel. Why? Kershaw could kill if they just made the misdirect in a 14, in a 14C28N. You know, I don't know. Yep, I can only hope you're saying that in jest, Cicero. I can only hope. You're probably right, Wyvern. They probably are sitting on a warehouse full of it and need to get rid of it all. You know, but speaking, Neil McKenzie, last night in one of the whatnot giveaways, I won one of the giveaways, and the prize was a CRKT M16, which is kind of cool because I don't have one of those. So that's going to be cool. That'll come in. You know, yeah, you're right, Yako. You know, but I just don't get it. Again, I don't get it. So let's move on to something else that came in, and that's this guy. And this is a knife that I really love. Check this out. This is the Tactus Frontier. Tactus Frontier. So this is a decent sized knife. You've got that nice Warncliffe there, slash sheep's foot. I don't know. You could go either way. You've got the beautiful orange thumb studs that I'm sure are aluminum, but Greg, and you got that beautiful G10 right there. Aluminum orange backspacer to match the studs. But here's the thing, look at the lock. Look at the lock. It's the same lock that's on the Civivi Vision. It's that Skinex designed lock. Thing's a fidget monster. And these come in at, what was the price point of these? I think $56. And the blade steel, 14C28N. So now here you go. You've got a modern style knife with your shark lock, if you want to call it that. Excellent deployment, really good in the hand, fully reversible, deep carry clip. And what's really nice, inset inset clip with flat screws. Really, really terrific. Now I know this knife's been out for about a year and got very little press, which I don't understand why. And they did license the lock. They didn't copy it. So it's not, but look at that. Full four-finger grip, stupidly fidgety, you know, deploys. I mean, just it looks great. And they make this in a couple of other colorways too. Yeah, with the backspacer. I mean, that's gorgeous. So to me, this knife is worth every penny of it. Especially if you like a Civivi Vision, this is a less expensive alternative to that, which I think is great. Yeah, exactly. It is a shark lock, 100% MadYocco. Hmm. I had contacted them about getting one for a video, and what they told me was that this model was going to be going away, but they still have plenty of stock on them. So they were like, no, we'll keep you in mind for when we come out with the new model. So this model is going away, but they have plenty of them. You know, but yeah, they like I said, they said this model was going away. There's a newer version of it coming out. Steve L, channel member, welcome in, welcome in. But I don't know. Would you rock one of these? Because, like you said, I dig this. Like you said, they have it in other colorways too. If green's not your thing, they have it in a black. I don't remember what the stud color was on that, and I think there's a third option. I just don't remember at the moment. But and shipping was ridiculous. They got this to me in like 2 days after I ordered it. So commend them on that. Now, something that came in that isn't knife related are these guys. So what these are waterproof cases that protect a Bic lighter. So if it's going in your fire kit, on a Bic lighter, right? Half the time it gets pressed, the button gets pressed down in your pack and it leaks fuel, and then you go to use it, it's not there. Well, this prevents that. The lighter goes right in, and then you've got a snap down lock, but it's still locked. You have to press the button and it pops open. And it makes the lighter waterproof, because it's got a gasket and protects it. Oops, hard to do this while looking at the camera, but works perfectly. And these come in at $4.99. So if you pair them with, $3 for a dual pack of the lighters, and you get choices of colors, this two pack had the black and then the black transparent. So, and the one I got in there says off the grid with a camping setup. So just kind of a cool little thing, especially putting like, whether it's in a go bag or, just a survival pouch or something like that, or, if you're going camping and stuff. Yeah, really cool. Protects it, keeps you from, you know, getting rid of all the oil. And I've already dropped it and it held up. So, and I didn't drop it on purpose. It's kind of slipped out of my hand. You know, big fat fingers sometimes do those things. Now, I had put up a post about the next things that came in, and that's these three puppies. You guys know I'm a watch fool. So these watches were at my local Walmart on clearance, Casios. They were $5 each. Five buckaloos for the classic calculator watch. The classic watch, and believe it or not, this is not one of their classic watches. This is one of their newer world time watches. So these all sell for like $22 retail, or 20, yeah, like 21 and change retail. These were all $5. So for 15 bucks, I got over $60 worth of watches. So that added to my Casio collection. So now I've got a whole case of 12 Casios, just all different. And that went from a guy who just 6 months ago didn't want a Casio. I didn't want anything digital. I wanted nothing but analog watches. And then all of a sudden, everybody in the watch world was like, no, 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 you're misjudging Casio. You need Casio. You need Casio. And then Walmart started clearancing all their Casio Timexes and Armatron watches out. So I jumped on them, but not bad. Oh, this is like, I wouldn't even use the calculator on this. It's just a nostalgia thing at this point. The only thing that this has the reverse screen. So it's the white numbers on black as opposed to the black numbers on the white. So it makes it a little harder to see. The one thing that I didn't realize, because I don't remember, I had one of these probably in the 80s, and there's no light. So at night it's totally useless. But it's pretty cool, you know, very cool just to have the old school calculator watch. And I've got it in this olive drab color, which is nice, you know. And I would never use it for the calculator, not when I have my phone, especially since big fat fingers. Really, I had a hard time setting it because the buttons are so small. And you set this is kind of cool because it's only one button on the side, and then the rest you set with the keyboard. Yeah, exactly, Yako. Mm-hmm. Yep. And Yako, speaking of tactical knives, you kind of just took the wind out of my sails there. I got this guy, and this is the last knife that we got in. Check this puppy out. Look at this. To quote bees, look at it. Would you just look at it? Look at it in all its tacticalness. This is a knife by Dragon Creek, and this is actually the Dragon model, I believe. Um, Check this out. You've got a handle, kind of resembles something that TCal would put out, but it is different. It doesn't look like my TCals, but it's kind of reminiscent with the feel with this G10 in black. And that blade, let's see, you can kind of see it. That's a pokey tactical blade. That's not an EDC knife. You've got amazing jimping right up here, full four-finger grip, place for a lanyard, and it's flattened out here so you can use it for a ferro rod. But these usually sell for $32, but Amazon Prime Day, and I took advantage of it, had these down to 22. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely TCal inspired. But here's the thing: even TCal's knives aren't original designs. I've seen that style before, and it is a real Kydex sheath. It's not a, FRN or anything like that. It's really Kydex taco style sheath. The only thing is, it didn't come with anything to attach it to a belt or anything. It just came with a sheath, no tech lock, no straps, nothing. So thank God I've got some ulti clips sitting around. I've got some straps, and I've got a couple of tech locks, but positive lockup in the sheath, like not even a sound, you know. But really cool, nice size. Like I said, usually they're 32 dollars or so, 31.99, something like that. And on Amazon Prime Day, they were 22. Mallory, what is up, my friend? So now let's take a look. So where is my TCals? Do. The TCals under the desk? TCal, I'm calling you. Well, I'll be damned. I don't have my TCal in here. Either one of them. Where can my TCals be? Where can they be? Hold on. My TCal's got to be here somewhere. TCals? TCal, come out and play. Let's see. Down there? Maybe? No. All right, this is going to drive me nuts. I don't know where I put my TCals. Hold on. because I gotta see this because let me go check the other room. Folks, I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Have fun. I need to find my TCal, or at least the new TCal. Do 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 do. What in God's name? Where could it have gone? Could they have gone? Are they in a disaster pile? All right. Well, I can't stay away from the show that long. I got to go back. That'll also allow me to turn the fan on. All right, guys, I give up. My TCals that seem to have run off. They're hiding somewhere. Set box for TCal. Where is TCal? I think I may know where they are. All right, folks, I give up. Somewhere in this house are my TCals. I don't know where they are. And that is bothering me like you wouldn't believe. Are they under this desk? Let me check one more time. Move stuff. Why no? They're not. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. That's going to drive me nuts. So after this show, I'm probably going to search this whole house until I find all my TCals. But all right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Yes, guys, if you have channel links, definitely share your channels. You know, hey, you know what? You, my friend, need to be a moderator. Oh, can't do it on that one. Got to do it up here. Just give me a sec. I'm gonna. All right. So that's basically what came in this week. Nothing else really came in. I've got some stuff coming next week. Like I said, I've got my Aries knife coming. That'll be coming in soon. Like I said, it was supposed to arrive Tuesday, but it showed it got to the local hub yesterday, which usually means when it gets to the local hub, I get it a day later. Obviously, today being Sunday, I didn't get it, but tomorrow it should arrive. And I've got some other stuff coming in as well, but nothing major. That is true, Cicero. That is true. So, oh, thanks, Thick Boy Tactical, and welcome in. Sorry I didn't say hello before, but yes, the lights are a different thing. I want mine to look different than everybody else's. And the fact I'm doing this in not my actual music recording studio, and I'm surrounded by guitars and amps and all that good stuff. So, as you can see by my giant Marshall amp behind me and everything else. But yeah, it's kind of, I just wanted it to be different. Did I miss anything? I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything in the chat that I should have known about. Robert Willoughby, welcome in, my friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we're at 10:47. Hopefully my internet is holding up on your end. It seems to be on my end right now. I don't know if we're having any lag problems still that we were before, but so what's everybody carrying? I will show you. I'm not carrying a fixed blade today, but I am carrying my Chavez, the budget Chavez, which I just love. Great, great knife. So I'm carrying that. Let's see what's in this pocket. I've got my custom Zippo with my name on it. Oh, with my name on it, even though it's going to be backwards. And with my logo, one of my logos. I've got that. I've got my Right in the Rain Monsoon wallet with Right in the Rain pad and my Right in the Rain pen, so I can write anywhere. Seriously, if you don't have one of these Chavezes, you really need to get one. They're fantastic. You know, Stephen Parks, hello there. Welcome in. Let's see what else I have. Up, SOG PowerPoint. PowerPint, not PowerPoint. It's not a demonstration. Joe Kasperek has his Kaiser Buddy, his Kaiser Porcupine, the Phoenix LD30, and his Buminati Ninja chip. Nice, nice. Cicero, the Wii Trogon, and the Jack Wolf Pioneer. Nice. Very little is coming out of Thick Boy. Very little is coming out of Blade Show West. Not a lot of people that I know in the community went. I know Big Red was there, and I believe Zach's stuff was there. And honestly, they did some stuff that I didn't get a chance to watch yet, so I'm going to go back and watch that. I am also carrying one of my favorite flashlights that was gifted to me by my friend Joe Kasperek, and this is the Ace Beam, the Rider RX, the most fidgety flashlight you will ever find. It's got this cool fidget factor to it. So when you do the clip, it gives you that nice, satisfying clicking noise. Geek Machinist, you have the OEG District Fixie, the Old Forge Barrel Slip Joint, the Coast XP6R Light, the Gerber Chunk, Pry Bar, the Seiko Tuna, the Rothko Paracord bracelet. I have one of those. Always with the paracord bracelet. Let's see what else. And the SOG PowerPoint and the Ridge CF. The other thing that I have that am I forgetting to show? Let's see. Oh, of course, my watch. You guys always want to know what watch I'm wearing. So today, I'm wearing my Citizen Garrison Field Watch. It's an Echo Drive, so it's solar powered. Awesome. The Mr. Design Titan and the N1C Cornerstone by Nub Knife Works with a new pinch lock. Oh, that'll be fun to check those out. 100%. Hold on, Thick Boy Tactical. Since you have a channel, I'm going to make you a mod so you can post your channel with everybody else. All right. Now feel free to post your channel. Hey, it's the Johnsons. What's up? Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. If you were here and I missed you, sorry about that. You know, but very cool. Yeah, absolutely. Post your channel so that way everybody can go over there if they're not already subscribed. I don't think I'm subscribed, but I can't get a way to subscribe through here. Um, but yeah, put your link in there. And I'll have to check out your channel later. So is the internet holding up okay on your end? Stephen Parks, the flashlight is the Workos HDO1 UV. Got it on sale, $9 on Amazon. Yep. That is actually no, this is the one that's powering my light because my light died. This one is what? Yeah, this is the HDO1. That's the HDO1. It's not the UV. That's the one with the laser. Got that one to play with the cat. So Workos makes some good lights, you know. You guys saw this week. I mean, a lot of you watched, and I'm getting good feedback on that video. A lot of you guys watched my Wuben videos that I posted after carrying that thing for 3 months. I didn't want to just do a video when everybody else did because one, it would get lost in the sauce, so to speak. You know, yeah, everybody go over and subscribe to Thick Boy Tactical. He's trying to get to 400. But definitely go help him out. And it's nice. We got 38 people here and 40 likes. Now, can I ask everybody a favor? I had posted in the description for this video, I had posted a link to my last RoseCraft video. Is there a way that everybody can go to that link and just leave a positive comment about RoseCraft? I'm doing something. It's going to really help me a long way. So let's see. No, let's see if I can get. Okay, hold on. I'm going to be. Thanks, EKG. So EKG posted the link to the RoseCraft video. If you guys could seriously just go there and whatchamacallit, just leave a positive comment about RoseCraft, I'd really appreciate that. That would be just really cool. You know, what's happening is for some reason, I think it's because I've done so many RoseCraft videos that people are kind of RoseCraft out. And I hate to say it because I really love RoseCraft, but I've done so many RoseCraft videos that um I think at this point, people kind of just ignoring my RoseCraft, you know. Ron Crow, thank you for your link up there. Definitely go subscribe to Ron Crow. Although I'm pretty sure everybody who's here tonight is subscribed to Ron Crow, you know. But definitely, definitely subscribe. But yeah, if I could just get you guys just to go over there, even if it's just for 5 seconds to leave a positive comment about RoseCraft, it would be really cool. I would appreciate that so much. Trying to drive that video a little bit. And giving it a thumbs up and leaving a comment really helps push it in the algorithm. So, but yeah, that would be awesome. Thick Boy Tactical, let me ask you, what are you more into, modern knives, traditional knives, fixed blades, bushcrafting? What's your channel focused on? Or is it EDC gear all around? Thank you, James McCann. I appreciate that. Yeah, Paul Mills, we can't quit Ron Crow. We don't quit Ron Crow. On the Edge EDC. Hello there. Well, so far you missed I don't know, just some general knife talk, showing off some new knives. We're probably not going to be on too much longer because I'm having a lot of internet issues today because of the massive storms that are going on around me. But Yavaz, welcome in, welcome in. Oh wait, wait a minute. I thought you were. I thought you already were. Hold on. I'm going to make you a mod as well. All right, Wyvern, feel free to post your channel, and definitely go subscribe to Wyvern Kodiak. So, just so everybody knows, we're quickly approaching 2,500 subs, and by the end of this week, we'll be at over 300,000 views on the channel, and that is all thanks to you folks. You guys have been supporting me. Like I said, next Friday, next Friday will be the kind of unofficial 1 year anniversary of EDC videos on this channel. For everybody who's new, this channel was motorcycle focused before, and then I changed my whole focus. So, you know, yep, everybody go subscribe to Hey, it's the Johnsons. I like this. We all get to kind of help boost each other up, which is kind of cool. The bigger channels have helped me over the last year. So if we all help each other, it's awesome. Yeah, on the Edge EDC, let us know. You know, let us know when you start selling stuff. I'm sure there's people looking for stuff. I see some of my lights are dying. What lights died? No, the lights are all working. It just seems like they're not as bright as they were. Oh, I don't know. On the Edge EDC, you could also try Whatnot. Whatnot seems to work pretty well, especially if you have stuff that people want. People, I notice on Whatnot, overpay for things. So if you're trying to make some money, that might be the way to go. Um, and what I mean by that is, like, I've seen knives that are selling for like $25 retail, but people get into a bidding war and they get so excited about wanting that knife that they'll pay like 30, $40 for it. And I'm like, why? Just buy it, you know? But they get all worked up in the auctions. Oh, Book Dragon Jen is asleep. It's a school night for her, so to speak. She gets up really early in the morning, so she's basically in bed by 10 o'clock every weekend. Every Sunday and every work night. But and that kind of brings me okay. That brings me to something else. I was kind of considering going live on a second night during the week, but going live at an earlier time, so that way Jen could be part of it. Um, Possibly. Or just doing another late night show so I don't step on anybody else's toes. And I think if I did a weekday show, I would call it Adventure After Dark. So not to be confused with the late night show. It's just something I'm kicking around, you know. But so for everybody who's a member, there's going to be some more. The last couple weeks, I kind of didn't do great with the members only videos. The one was the entry video for the big prizes from last week. That, by the way, everything will be going out in the mail. Could not do it this weekend like I planned, so everything's going to go out either Monday or Tuesday. More likely Tuesday. So I apologize for everybody who's waiting for their prizes. That stuff will go out. But with that being said, well, I'm on every Sunday. Oh, Saturdays have been dead. Yeah, I don't know. G-Ball, the last couple of weeks didn't do his show, so that's kind of worried about that he's okay. I know he put up an X-ray of his arm. It looks like he had some type of surgery or got hurt or something. I'm not sure exactly. Hoping he's okay. I miss G-Ball being on, you know, but um, yeah. Well, Sunday I'm always on Sunday nights. Sunday's cool, but I'm thinking about doing maybe another night. We'll see. I mean, it's takes a lot to come up with stuff to talk about for 2 hours, more or less 4 hours or 3 hours a week. So, you know, all right, I'm still going to go a little bit because it seems like the internet's holding up, but probably not too much longer. Like I said, I'm afraid we're going to lose power because I can hear the wind outside. It's whipping, and I could hear the trees kind of doing these. We've got all kinds of storm warnings around us. It's supposed to rain from tonight to like 6 o'clock tomorrow night. And I go down like by the Jersey Shore and whatnot. They had major flooding, a lot of problems. Those Jersey Shore houses are really nice, but man, they deal with some horrible weather conditions sometimes. But I don't know. Let me know if it's something you guys would be interested in. you know. But getting back to the membership videos. So then this week, I was traveling all last weekend, so I didn't have time to record a official gear membership video. So I posted one of my a 3-minute travel video from the walkway over the Hudson, which was kind of a cool, very cool thing. But I could tell nobody cared. Only 5 people watched it. I mean, we've got 70 channel members and only 5 people watched it. So that just told me everything. You guys don't want to see travel videos or anything like that. But I was trying to think of what I could do to get something up that would be a little different than the regular videos. So that's why we can get a ton of videos out this week, because I was traveling. And also, my position at work has changed. So I have less time at work to make my short videos. But with that being said, I've got short videos that'll be coming out with daily pocket checks. Just that I've had to redo my schedule a little bit at work to make it work. So we'll get those out. Streaming hot tub videos. Um, sure, sure. Yeah, no, but not me. Not me in the hot tub. Who can we bring in? We got Livy Dunn. She likes to do commercials in bathtubs. Maybe we could offer her a lot of money to do a steamy hot tub video. I don't know. Yeah, Buminati. The other thing too, Buminati, is when you turn on notifications, and for some reason you don't get half the notifications. At least I don't. You know, Somebody told me they were on yesterday, and I was like, really? Because I didn't get a notification at all, and I am like subscribed, and I have turned on for all notifications, and I totally missed their live. You know, William, what's up, my friend? William Hornbustle in the house. You know, but I don't know, or regular and a big can of beans. No, 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 no. But 11:05 and all is well. So what else was everybody carrying? I only had a few people tell me about their carry, so I know I know more of us carried. Aaron D, member, hello there. I didn't realize you were here. I must have missed it, but I'm glad you're here. What do we got? What do we got? Paul Mills, the mini FSD and the transparent knives, rebladed bug out today. Nice. Nice. It's funny. I was on Transparent Knives site today looking at some of his options because Rochambeau dropped a video about his small EDC knife, and I wanted to check it out. They're sold out, but they look pretty cool. You know. And hello there, the MBK Old Guard. Nice, nice. I have one of those. It's in one of the cases. It's the only MBK knife I have. I still haven't bought the saber tooth of the Wolverine because I still can't make up my mind which one I want, and they're going to sell out. The Finn Wolf, nice. A Zippo, and an Olight for James McCann. Very nice. Very, very nice. Now, James, which insert do you have on the Zippo? Do you have just the regular lighter insert, or do you have the butane torch insert? Or like me, I have the plasma insert. Good night, Blue. Appreciate you being here as always. You're a good friend. Say hello to Trish. Regular lighter insert. See, I don't smoke, so for me, the plasma insert is fine. You know, this is more for fire starting. And that's why I have now the Bic lighters as well as backups, and of course, there's always a ferro rod. Rams is silent. The Leatherman Arc, the Sog Power Pint, the Tac Ray, the Tyron ZDP 189, an Abslander 2, the Outdoor Element Neck Knife, the CRKT Obake Fixed Blade, and a Zippo with the Bit Kit insert. Very nice. Your AD15 today that you modded. That's what we get a better and faster action. Now the damn thing is a guillotine and I feel my fingers. Well, yeah, that could happen. That could happen. So basically, you need to tune it the other way now to kind of slow down the action. But gotcha. Yavaz has the Leatherman Crunch, the Olight Mini Baton, the Civivi Elementum, two button, and the TI Pry Bar, titanium pry bar. Very nice. Carry the Beans Blades Javelin, the Raccoon Cub, the Swiss Spartan, and the Leatherman Skeletal for Aaron D. Nice carry. Skeletal, the Leatherman Skeletal, I keep looking at that, but I'm like, I have so many multi tools at this point. Do I want it? And now, looking at that brand new, um, the Leatherman Wave Plus, not the Wave Plus, the new one, the one that just came out with Magna Cut, the one that comes with the G10 handles. Um, I know a lot of people are talking that one up and they like it a lot, you know. Hidden A Zippo, uh, the Hidden A Zippo has a poker hand finish on it. Spring lighting card that pops up. Open. That's a big collection of Zippos, Cicero. Very nice. No, it's not the Arc Wyvern. They came out with a new wave. It's a higher end wave that comes in at like over $200 now, or like maybe like I don't remember the price on it, but it was really expensive. I couldn't believe the price of it. But it comes with a Magna Cut blade, you know. Um, Best Damn EDC. He did basically a 20-minute show on it this week. That was kind of an infomercial. I hate to say it, but although he said he would still rather have his Leatherman Arc, but he was talking about he's been carrying it for like a month and he really loves the thing. Supposedly, it's a big upgrade over the Wave Plus. So no, it's not the Wave Plus. This is a new one. It's over the Wave Plus. It improves the blade with a Magna Cut. It has a new set of scissors in there that are more capable than the ones on the Wave Plus, but they eliminated a couple of things. I don't remember what to make to and added some new tools that supposedly makes it that much better. Um, but yeah, yeah, I know. And it doesn't. The thing is, it doesn't have. It's a little lighter than the Wave Plus because it doesn't have steel scales. It has G10 scales. Comes in like a bright orange, a black, and an olive, if I remember right. You know, you light as a Nightcore Tiki Green Glow. Nice. Matt, I love the TRM as well. I just think they make great stuff. In fact, I want to take a trip up to their factory. They invited me up when they had given the knife to the channel to give away. So I may go up there, visit, do a video. Obviously, I won't be going anytime soon because I'm pretty much out of time off at work. So it wouldn't be till after the first when my time off what you call it resets. So there's that. But yeah, I definitely want to take a trip up there. They're not that far away from me, so I can get there. I was looking. Think I looked it up. Bless Knives, what's up, my friend? Things are going good, my friend. How are you? Glad you're here. Plus, just so you know, I'm having internet outages because we have a major storm going on here. And if it doesn't hold, if it my internet doesn't hold up, obviously I'll be shutting the show down early. So, and I don't know how much longer I'm going to stay on, but I'm going to try and stay on a little bit more, you know, because we only lost the internet once in the show. So, you know what? This is driving me nuts. I feel like it's very dark in here, so I'm going to turn the other light on. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Oops, wrong one. There we go. Get that light on. Wash out the back a little bit, but it is what it is. So, Donnie, you didn't go to Blade Show West, right? I think I saw you say that in Aries. Good night, Joe Kasperick. Appreciate you as always. Yeah, I got you. I got you, Donnie. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. It's such a commitment to go to the Blade shows, and such a even as someone like for you, you would have to build up some knives to have to display if you were going there as a vendor. You know, you'd have to hold them back. I was talking to Waxed Wing um, the other day. Well, this was right before Lehigh Valley show, and he had made a bunch of knives that he couldn't sell on his website because he needed to show them at the knife show. So it was one of those things that he had to hold on to all these knives, and he sold through most of them. I think he sold all but 3 or 4 at the show, and he had a bunch, which was good. It was good to see because he does a really good job with his, with his small EDC fixed blades, you know. Um, but yeah, I guess that yeah, exactly. Building for a show. Yeah, I totally get it. Plus, yeah, and then, like, just to go to the show even as just a spectator, so to speak, you know, you gotta pay to get to the show. You gotta pay for a hotel unless you live nearby, food, drinks all day long. And if you're there for more than one day, it just adds up to so much. And then, of course, you're gonna spend a ton of money at a show, you know? Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Donnie. I get it. Especially for you guys who make, custom knives or, that are specific for customers as opposed to just doing a drop where everybody buys them. It's definitely you're on a time crunch. 100% understand that. And especially when with the kind of stuff that you make is different than, some of the real basic knives that are out there. Especially when you're doing your custom folders. Holy crap. Your custom folders look amazing. But yep, Robert Jones. Everybody check out Robert Jones's channel if you haven't. Definitely appreciate that. You know, Donnie is our national treasure. The fact that Donnie and Dylan Mallory come in, hang out in my chat each week is really cool to me. Guys who I respect as builders and designers. Yeah, exactly. Totally understand that, Donnie. I mean, you know, I you got to you just have to have some drops periodically just to keep cash flow coming in. 100% get that, you know. But and that's the bad part about being in business for yourself. It's it's do you you have to it's a fine line to balance what you're going to make custom for customers and then what you're going to make to have it sell right away and turn over your stock so that way that the cash flow keeps coming in. It's tough. It's really tough. I don't envy anybody who owns a business. And more importantly, I don't envy anyone who owns a custom business like you guys have, you know? It's so hard. It really is. The thing, Donnie, the thing about that is keep producing the stuff you produce and whatchamacallit, people will buy it up. You know, people know when there's quality and people will appreciate it. You know, some people are going to be happy with a $30 fixed blade, you know, or a $30, you know, folding knife, where others will appreciate the fine workmanship, the higher quality, and what it takes, the artistry, you know. But yeah, you just keep banging away at it. Um, no, Wyvern, I don't think you did send me that, or if you did, I'm forgetting because I get a lot of people sending me stuff lately. Kingsport Cow, yes, exactly. If Donnie builds it, they will buy, you know, and they'll pay for it too. You know, like I've got my new knife coming from Aries tomorrow. I was willing to pay more because I knew what he does. You know, I already have one of his customs. So it was definitely worth it, and especially the fact that, you know, he worked with me and I pulled. Thank you. Thank you, Kingsport Cow. This is an old shirt that I have. It's definitely cool DC shirt. It's kind of, you know, it's Justice League, but no Wonder Woman and no Aquaman. But it's old school. I've had this shirt. God, this shirt's got to be about 15 years old at least. I wear it all the time. It's held up really well, you know. But and Donnie, if I win the lottery, I'll buy some knives off you. Oh, my knife budget is shot this year. I really can't. I really can't buy anything going forward. You know, I've got some stuff on the way, but definitely, my knife budget's gone. Got to worry about the holidays now coming up and all that good fun stuff. Plus, there's bills to pay. You know. Um. Okay. King's Portal, you have not been here before, so I will show you the wreck that is my guitar studio at the moment. Stuff is in boxes, but I will turn the camera briefly so you can kind of see what we're looking at. And mind you, this is not everything. So we've got a corner there of guitars and amps, more amps there, guitars piled up there, guitars and effects over here, guitars and parts over there, more guitars here, and I've got more in the closet. This is actually my recording studio that has now been turned into a knife video studio. And, and but yeah, altogether there was 48 guitars in here, and I sold about 15 or 16 of them in the recent weeks, you know. Um, and I did that to actually support my knife habit in a lot of ways. So there's that. Sounds good. Okay. Yeah, no, that's fine, Wyvern. You can send this me. You can send this to me on Instagram. That's fine. I will not be putting that out there. Yeah, no, I'm back. I was just kind of spinning around the room, showing one the mess that the other side of the camera is, and how there's guitars everywhere, and there's a couch full of knives sitting to the left of me because this is kind of my office slash recording studio slash man cave. But okay, very cool, Wyvern. All right. So, and the other thing is, like with all the giveaways and stuff, it's getting expensive to ship everything. Holy crap. I realized I had like I have 8 packages going out this week. It's like, Jesus. It is a lot of guitars, but there was a time where I worked in the music industry and used all those guitars. Now they're kind of room candy. I don't play as much as I used to. I just don't have the time anymore. But it's cool. I will get back to recording some music this year. Yeah, exactly, Robin. It's getting crazy, you know. And I'm not shipping out big things. I can imagine people who are shipping out large, large things. You know, I'm gonna have to consider pirate ship. I hear everybody talking about it and how great it is, but I haven't used it. So I know a bunch of people using it and they recommend it highly. But I have to check if it would work in my situation because I'm never home, like for them to come pick up. So I don't know if it's one of those things where I could print stuff and drop it somewhere, or how it's going to work. I don't know, but we'll find out. Which Epiphone and which Ibanez do you have? Just curious. Okay, I'll have to check out Pirate Ship because everybody's telling me about it. Oh, you can drop them off with Pirate Ship? If that's the case, then definitely. I have to figure out how that works. Maybe I'll check it out tonight. Good night, Paul Mills. Appreciate you being here. It's funny, Bobtism. Up until the last few weeks, and I think I jinxed myself. I had talked about how everything that I order arrives early because of where I live, because it's such a major hub here in New Jersey, and most of the post office stuff comes directly to Jersey and then gets distributed around the rest of the tri-state area. So usually I would get stuff early, and for the last month I've been getting everything late. But now I've got stuff that's supposedly arriving early this week. I had stuff that's saying it's not going to arrive till Friday, and it's already here at my next at Teterboro Airport, which means I get it the next day. So I have 4 packages that's supposed to be arriving tomorrow that were scheduled for later in the week. Now I will believe they actually show up tomorrow when they show up. You know, but yeah, but I think the pricing is what's killing me now with the post office. Oh wow, that's awesome, Cicero. I have a couple of Les Pauls that are in the closet there in the cases that I never play. They just kind of sitting there. I've got some old school 80s Kramers in there, you know. Anybody see, speaking of Swiss Army knives, Victorinox dropped like 6 new models of Swiss Army knives this week, you know. Mm. Les Paul case queens. Yep, essentially. It's not because I don't like them. It's just because I don't have any more room on stands. So, you know, and I have a right now I have a bass in my guitar I have to get out of there and bring it in the house. I keep forgetting to bring it in. But but yeah, Swiss Army, they dropped, I think, 7 new knives this week. Oh no, they dropped 5. Ozark Trail, by the way, dropped 6 new knives. Sorry, 7 new knives. A couple of them are knives that were out last Christmas that they brought back and they gave names to. So if anybody remembers the crossbar lock, the white handled one from last year that was sold for $5, well, the pricing went up. They're now $7.25, but they gave it a name. It's now called the Glacier. So, but altogether, they have 7 new models that are hitting for Christmas that look pretty cool. They're going to be, they're going to be in that, I think 3 of them were fixed blades and I think 4 are folders, you know. The Epiphone with dual humbuckers and the Ibanez Geo with 2 single coils and a bridge double humbucker. Nice. Nice. Are we saying Ron Crow's causing trouble? Never. Ron Crow doesn't cause trouble. I would never believe that. So, you play bass, nothing crazy. You have a custom Schecter 6 string. That's nice. And a Dean 6 string. I had a Dean 4 string bass for a very long time. And I don't know what happened to it, honestly speaking. I don't know if I lent it to somebody, never got it back, or if it was one of those things I had when I first moved from Brooklyn to Pennsylvania before I came to New Jersey. My apartment got broken into. Some stuff got stolen, and it might have been in that too. I don't know, but yeah, but it's Cicero. You're right, but it is nice to actually have a name on them now. So like instead of just saying, "Hey, it's the orange D2 knife," now know that it's called the Sonder. I like the fact that they're giving them names. Ron, are you a troublemaker? I've I am shocked. Not really. The other day. Oh yeah, the black one's nice. I want to grab the black one, and I want to grab one of the orange ones. I want to swap the blades so that way the black one is completely black. Have a total blacked out. That would be fun. You know. No, it's definitely nothing compared to a Vosteed raccoon. But I mean, you're talking about a knife that's $10. $10 D2. Yeah, really. Even if you beat the hell out of it and destroyed it, you're at $10. Ron Crow is a saint. Saint Ron. We will celebrate him on Saint Ron's Day. We still have 30 people in here. That's awesome. You only cause trouble when it's warranted. All right. I can buy that. Nothing wrong with that. Oh. By the way, if you guys haven't hung out at Ron's live streams, they're a lot of fun. He does some good giveaways too. Um, if you want to watch a guy sharpen, definitely hang out with Ron. He could teach you a thing or two about sharpening. That's my weakest part of my knife game is sharpening. Um, and that's because I don't have a really good sharpening system. I don't know. I'm looking for a sharpening system now, like a good sharpening system as we speak. Geek Machinist had recommended a system that I've been taking a look at that I kind of like. I might go that route, but I also kind of like some of the work sharp systems. I don't know. And then I'm thinking, well, I really kind of like the Ken Onion with the motor driven with the belts. I like that system a lot, but I don't know. I hear that it's very easy to screw that up and overheat your blades, but it's like anything else. I'd buy some cheap knives to work on. Yeah, I don't need TS prof level, to be honest. I've been told there are some very good um lower priced options. No, it's the Work Sharp Ken Onion. It's you know, it's basically got belts. You set the angles, and the belts do the grinding. You got you change the belts and whatnot. That looks kind of cool. Also, seems like it would be loud. Robin, what's the price point of that? Just out of curiosity. Steven, I can answer that one. The Work Sharp Field Sharpener is great for doing touch ups and sharpening. In fact, I have one here. I have one right here. And I use this for touching up. As I've talked about on here before, I don't do a lot of sharpening because literally because the amount of knives and because I'm constantly reviewing knives, I literally change out my blades every single day. I'm carrying a different knife, so I really don't wear out knives. But when I do have to touch them up, this does the trick. And I've done every kind of steel with this. So, you know, but that does the trick for me most of the time. But yeah, that keeps it really simple. I had, in fact, the other day, that's not quite true. I have this no name brand um, assisted opening knife that I keep in my kitchen that I use for cutting everything from steamed vegetables to everything else under the sun. It's been in that kitchen for about 3 years now, and I just cut everything. And I've never sharpened it. And the other day I realized, yeah, this thing's dull. So I took it to the sharpener, to the field sharpener, and it sharpened it right up. And it's an unknown. It's like I believe it's like a 3 CR, so it's easy to sharpen steel. But Robin, you said how much was that? 75. I'm gonna have to look that up because I really don't know that one. Robert Jones, I keep looking at the Worksharp Professional Precision Adjust Elite, but not the Elite. I would get the lower version. I don't think I need the Elite, you know. Do I have a sharpening stone? Yeah, I have some cheap sharpening stones, but I just use like I said, I just wind up using this all the time, the Worksharp Field Sharpener. It just for me it works. I also have the NAFS version of this as well, which is one that you can print. You can actually 3D print and then buy this everything for it. That was the first one I was using, and that actually works really well. But these work, you know. Yeah, and these are diamond plates, Ron. Yep. The other thing too is most people don't realize on this. Let's take this out of the case again. So you've got the stones, right? And they come off, and you can get other stones, but like this one here is the which one is this? This is the fine, right? But on the other side, when you pull this one off, you've got storage underneath. So underneath, I keep one of these, which is a T8, T6, and I keep, so I don't lose it, the little tool, the little pry bar tool for my O knife utility blade. So it comes in handy because you've got little wrench sections there, and they fit right under this case. I mean, right under the magnet. Oops, if I can get that back in there. But there we go. So that works out nice. You can put those little tools underneath there, you know. And then if you have the case, you just throw it in the case. What's nice is when I go hiking and stuff, I could take this and just throw it in the bag. But I also have the other one, the smaller field sharpener. Let's grab that. So I also have this one. This little guy that just has the basic stone and then the ceramic rod right there. So this is really good to keep in a backpack. It's really light and you can just touch up whatever you need to. And you've got the hone, you've got the angle guides here. So it's small, it works well. These are inexpensive. I think these are like 17 bucks or so. You know, definitely works well. Baxter's Blade. Baxter's Blades, hello there. Oh, that's actually it's not a model. That is one of the Star Wars uh toys by Kenner. But yes, that goes along with everything else that's Star Wars in here, you know. You know, super chatters get saluted with the lightsaber. We didn't get many super chats tonight. It's okay. I love you people anyway. We're not here for that. If we get them, we get them. But yeah, it's kind of cool. Gotcha. Okay, Ron. So you could answer my question then. The Ken Onion Workshop, is it worth it? Because the only thing I like the concept of it, but I've heard that it's easy to overheat your blades. So, Ron, discuss. I'm relying on your professional opinion. Yeah, Axis Blades is all kinds of stuff in here. You can't see it, but next to the sign there's a whole crap load of Star Wars, Star Trek, Marvel, Transformers, all kinds of action figures all around. Big Funko Pops. It's all kinds of stuff. Just all kinds of stuff. Mhm. What did I miss? I missed something. I missed something in the chat while I was pulling crap out. Well, we're at 11:42. We might as well just hang out to midnight. I didn't think it was going to, but we're having fun. And that's cool. Robin, if you're willing to donate them, I'm willing to take them. I I am a collector of Star Wars and Star Trek memorabilia. all that kind of good stuff. Um, yeah, 100%. That would be awesome. Won't overheat the blade. Okay, that's good to know on the Edge EDC. Yes, yes, there's a Misfits picture, autographed picture right there. Um, that is the lineup when it had Jerry Only, Des Cadena, and Marky Ramone. Jerry Only is, by the way, is a neighbor of mine. Jerry Only lives about 5 minutes down the road. We see him around town often, and in fact, the warehouse where the Misfits keep all their gear, which is actually their father's um, iron ironworks machine shop, is about 10 minutes from here. And when you can no, I have every misfit who's ever been in the band except for Danzig, but that's a whole different story. Bob Tis a member for 1 month. Congratulations, and you get a phaser salute. Very cool. Well, there's 3 Ramones left. There's Marky Ramone, who does a lot of touring. There's CJ Ramone and whatchamacallit. And then there's Richie Ramone. 2 of them are drummers. And we didn't actually walk away for an hour and hope for the best. Gotcha. Yep, Dee Dee passed away. Dee Dee, Johnny, Joey, and Tommy have all passed away. So, and technically there's a 4th Ramone still alive, Clem, who was Clem Burke, who was also Blondie's drummer. Um, he was in the band for a very, very short period of time. But Ron Crow, member for 2 months. Ron, you get a phaser salute. There we go. Thank you for being a member, Ron. Appreciate that. So, but these are the nerds we're looking for. See, it's one of those funny things. Like one of my best friends, he said to me, he goes, "You're the cool nerd." I was like, "What?" I was like, "What does that even mean?" He said, "Well, you play guitar in bands, you ride motorcycles." He goes, "You're not like the other nerds." I'm like, "Well, I am." I was like, "Just guitars and motorcycles, just another form of being a nerd. It's just a different type of nerdism." Roger, I have it on a lot of knives. I love AR RPM 9, but now they've come out with AR RPM 9 2, which is supposed to be even a step up over AR RPM 9. I mean, AR RPM 9 is, I want to say it's their equivalent to like a 1428 14C28N blade steel. That's the way I've always read it to be. Yes, exactly. You know, I'm like, and that's because we were doing a nerd podcast a while back. I don't know if there's any episodes still up anywhere, but it was called Brandon's Beard. And it was making fun of one of our friends, this guy named Brandon, who was like, he was a hipster before people were hipsters. So, and he had this beard, and we always pictured him just waxing poetically and philosophizing, rubbing his beard. So we named the podcast Brandon's Beard, and we talked about nerd stuff, you know, that and pro wrestling. So it's nerd stuff and pro wrestling. Dragoon, member of the Adventurers Guild, did not realize you were here. Yeah, definitely a neckbeard, Jesse. Yep, 100%. But Dragoon, I don't know. I like AR RPM 9, to be honest. Um, better corrosion resistance than D2, you know? It is a stainless, but I mean, listen, I hate that people knock D2 because I like D2 a lot, you know? AUS 10 is really good. Um, Bowler K110 is basically just another version of D2. Let's be honest about that, you know? But I don't know, but now I wanna see I haven't tried the new AR RPM 9 yet. I wanna try that. There's nothing wrong with 9CR, you know? And I know people love to bash it. There's nothing wrong with 8CR either. Let's be honest about this, you know? 8CR is the super steel of yesterday. But what don't you like about it, Dragoon? Just curious. Kingsport Cal, Dragoon's like an original. I know him from hanging out with Legion Steel. In fact, I know most of you guys from hanging out with Legion Steel, which I really do miss those guys. You know, I spoke to Marissa recently, and they have a lot going on. So hopefully they'll be back soon, you know. But we'll see, we'll see. Gotcha. Gotcha, Dragoon. Yeah, see, and that's the thing. I don't hard use any knives like that. Not folding knives, you know. Yep, Dragoon's awesome. Love when he's hanging out. Dragoon, have you talked to Marissa and in a while? And Marshall, have you talked to either one of them? I know you were supposed to be doing some things with Legion Steel, but I don't know what happened. Yes, AR is a spray formed steel, 100%. Understood. And everybody's got a steel that doesn't do that. For me, um, well, in my opinion, the most overused or overrated steel, and I know not everybody's going to agree with me, is good old M390. People love M390, and I don't think it's a bad steel, but I think it's a bit overrated. Now, Ed, see, 14C28N, I think it's a very average steel. And I know some people will argue with me, but I think Nitro V is a better steel than 14C28N. And I know there are people who will argue with me, but from my experience, I've had more luck, you know. And they put it on so many knives, like this knife here, you know. This is the big idea design. And this one's an M390. Fantastic, fantastic, really great little knife. Don't know if it's worth the price of admission, but it's a great knife. Um, but it's M390, so I'm not overly thrilled, you know? Yeah, Cicero. I mean, I think people like to shit on 8CR, but I really don't think it's that bad. Yeah, I some people like like some people are just dead set against Nitro V, and I don't get it because especially if you look at the ratings, like on Knife Nerd, you know, when Larry Thomas, has all his ratings, Nitro V performs just as well as 14C28N. By the way, the knife world has become just an alphabet soup of blade steels. It was so much easier when like you had, 440C and D2, and that's really all you had, and OS 8, you know. But now there's a whole alphabet and number system of knife steels. Seems like there's new knife steels all the time. All right, we're at 11:53, so we're gonna be wrapping up soon. And next week, like I said, we're gonna be celebrating the 1 year anniversary of doing EDC knives, and I will have a prize next week. I didn't really plan for a giveaway tonight because I didn't think we were gonna go the whole way. Plus, I still have so much to send out. And we're going to be into the latter part of September, which means we're also going to be coming up on the members only giveaway. So we'll go back there. Best budget brand? Okay. Kingsport Cal. Budget is a term that I resent because when I think of budget, I think of cheap. Where I think if you say affordable or inexpensive, that's a better term because there are a lot. To me, gas station knives are budget knives. You can get them for like $10 and they're crap, you know. But if you're looking for an inexpensive or a value brand, oh my God, Sencut is fantastic. The lower priced Migaron stuff is really fantastic. Um, Civivi, I used to consider a affordable brand, but now everything in Civivi is like 80 to $100. But if you're looking for stuff in that $30 range, 30 to $40 range, CJRB, you can't go wrong with. Migaron, Petrified Fish, one of the best budget knives I have, and I will say budget because I bought it as a budget knife, but let's call it an inexpensive or affordable knife. It's the Petrified Fish, um, not the beluga. Now Jordan name. Oh, it's the Petrified Fish. It's a D2. It is possibly one of the most perfect, inexpensive knives I've ever used. And I have a video on it, and I actually named it in there as one of the best, affordable knives. And back then, I was still using the term budget, but Olitins is great. I have a couple Olitins here that are just really fantastic, inexpensive knives. 704 gear, 100%. Tenable is a little bit Cicero. Tenable is a little bit more. You're talking about 50 to like $70 on Tenable. I would call that kind of a mid-range as opposed to a true, you know, like my price point, like I say 50 and under for me is what I call affordable and inexpensive. And then from like 50 to like $99, I call like a mid price point. Then after that, you have a higher price point, and then of course it goes to premium, and then premium plus, depending on what. But 704, I've got a bunch of those. They make good stuff, and they're always on sales. You can always pick up one, you know. But I don't think like I said, I don't think you can really go wrong with any of them. I mean, if you want to spend 50 something bucks, go right here. Go to go to Tactus. You'll get the Dream Lock slash Shark Lock on it. 14C28, great blade shape, built like a tank, looks good, aluminum backspacer, deep carry clip, you know, for like the $50 price point, you know. If you don't want to spend that much, I mean, hell, here. It also depends on the size of the knife you want, but Kaiser. This is a Kaiser nice guy. This is the one, the rich light handles. These are like 33 bucks, but you could get the G10 version, right, for like 29 bucks, and you've got an amazingly built knife. You know, this one happens to be Nitro V, and I absolutely love this knife. It's one of my favorites. I mean, it's even got jimping up on the front of the blade, the back. I use this all the time. SC Knife Monkey, what's up, brother? Glad you're here. You're here with 3 minutes to spare, but you're here, and I appreciate that. I appreciate you. Here, okay, let me show you the Flightanium beef. Now, these are completely sold out. These were $60. They dropped these down on clearance to $30 because there's a new version coming that they upgraded. This is a D2. The new version, the version 2, is going to have 14C28, and all the hardware instead of T6s is going to be T8. These are going to hit, these are going to be about the $60 price point, you know, and absolutely love this one, you know. I was showing last week, I've got the titanium scales for this. I've got the skiff bearings, and now the S90V blade came in for this. So once I change this all around, it's going to become a premium knife, you know. I have a Kaiser Drop Bear 2. I don't have one out, but the Drop Bear 2 is fantastic. Great knife, you know. Yes, this Cicero, it's the Zalot, I think it's called. Somebody was just asking about the Shark Lock. Pyrite Bowie. Yeah. I mean, there's just a lot of good, you know, we are like, to me, in the golden age of affordable knives. You know, when I was first getting into knives, mind you, I've been into knives for almost my whole adult life. But back in the day, if you wanted a good knife, you had to pay for it. You didn't pay for a knife, you got crap. And that's not the case now. You can get good everyday knives that work well for Jesus. I was showing this one earlier. $15 basically on Amazon. There's a company called CCFFCC. 14C 28N blade steel, D2, decent clip, inset, you know, liner lock, sharp as anything. And there you go. Because now there's so many Asian knife houses, so to speak. And what I mean by that is you've got one company making knives under like 15 to 20 different names. And they're just putting them out. And they're good. They're good stuff. Patina Turner, what's up? Welcome in. You got here very late because it's midnight and we're about to sign off. But I appreciate you being here and I welcome you to come in every week. We're here at 10 o'clock and I drop videos all week long. So, with that being said, I hope everybody has a great night. And I will see you during the week, um, probably in everybody else's lives as well. You know, like I said, I've been spending a lot more time in whatnot lately, but even that's going to slow down. But remember, as I always say, until we meet again, keep your blade sharp. All right, everybody, have a great night. It was fun hanging out with you. I'm glad my internet held up. And I will talk to you all soon. And like I said, thank you so much for being here. You don't know how much I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys are the absolute best. I love this community. And on that note, good night, everybody.